Okay, I have one last segment for you to consider. These are my guaranteed tips to improve your chapter. I hope most of these will be reminders of what we've already covered. And I will put out there that if you find that these do not work for your chapter, I am willing to refund your tuition to this course. So, with that, we will work our way through these. Do something, okay? It's pretty clear when we talk to chapters that are failing, they're failing because they don't do anything. And their meetings stink. And they don't have a pancake breakfast, and they don't fly young eagles, and they don't do a fly out. I've yet to talk to a chapter when you're probing them about why they're about to fold, where they go, oh yeah, we do 2 pancake breakfasts a year, and we fly young eagles every other month, and da-da-da. That's never the case. It's always, and then you bring up like, well, have you tried? Oh, yeah, well, I don't think that would work for us. Well, gee, it works for everybody else, but, I know you guys are a special case. So make sure that you have stuff going on. And some of it can be informal. We did the tower tour as just an add-on. That wasn't our normal meeting, but we just said, hey, we've arranged at the tower. Anybody who wants to go, we've got 2 time slots. Sign up, go over there. If you're not growing, you're dying, okay? The point here is you have to think like a new member. You have to always remind yourself that you're in growth mode, okay? Doesn't mean you have to have a big, campaign to grow your membership, but just keep that mindset that you want new members. You might inadvertently fall into the habit, you get very comfortable, that you forget the fact of how uncomfortable it can be to be the one person that walks in this room, a sea of faces, and nobody greets them or finds out anything about them, and they end up sitting 4 chairs away from somebody because they don't really know anybody. That's an incredibly uncomfortable experience. The problem I run into is I'm president, so even though for many years I went into thinking, I'm going to invite, I'm going to talk to everybody that walks in. And then Alan comes up to me and says, I can't do, the projector's not working, blah, blah, blah. So then I'm off on that. So find somebody that can be a greeter, whose sole job is to sit there at the door, slap a name tag on the members, welcome the non-members, and say, oh, Jim, you said you're interested in Cessnas. Let me introduce you to Bob. He owns a Cessna 140. Pair them up, and then go back to the door and reset the cycle. So you can't go wrong there. The name tag thing. They're going to come in to your chapter and meet 25 different people their first meeting. What are the odds of them remembering all those names? Probably 0.
How long will it take them to learn?
Right. So do them a favor, have a name tag. It's a reminder, and it's it's very. I think it's a polite thing to do to have. I wear my name tags whenever I go to any chapter function. Like you'll see all week, obviously during convention, I'll have my name tag on because a lot of people will be like, yeah, I've seen that guy and I don't really remember why, but Charlie, yeah, he's the chapter guy. Okay, got it. And finally, for anybody that's under 50 or just getting into aviation, if they're over 50, now is the best time that they will have in aviation. These are their good old days. So don't let your members sit around going, oh yeah, Avgas was a nickel when I started to learn to fly, and you could get pre-flight instruction because there was some government program at the time, and if you come to AirVenture for the first, Dave hasn't been to Oshkosh.
What?
When he comes here this year, it will be his best Oshkosh because you can't really imagine, and even though you hear stories and all that, there's just so much to absorb that first time. I still remember the first time I ever came, and it still has that place in my heart that it was better back then. Yeah, better back then when there was no flush toilets, and nowhere to get any shade, and all that stuff. It is pretty good the way we have it today. And, you know,
order pizza for delivery.
yeah, you know, it's like, you know, if you're here for more than 2 days, you can actually have something other than a burger, you know, or a wrap, you know. So things have advanced. It's not all perfect, and, you know, yeah, some things were better back then, and, you know, but as Paul and Tom used to say, who are you going to say to stay home? You know, this is our party. We want as many people to come as we can. And all you have to do is talk to Lars for 5 minutes, and you'll realize how good we have it in the USA. I'll tell you. Yeah, we've heard it.
Something totally different here. When you say these are the good old days, you know, somebody can do nothing worse, but if a younger person comes up and talks about his worries about getting into general aviation also, and the older guy says, oh, if I get to fly another 5 years, I'll be okay. That's the greatest insult that an older pilot or aviation enthusiast can do to a younger one. And if you do that, they will never come back. You know? Instead, you should say, like, now is the time to buy an airplane. You can buy a 172 cheaper than you ever could. This is your chance to get into aviation. A chance that exists now that has never existed before.
Is the glass half empty or half full? You know, we can still go out there, get in an airplane, fly pretty much wherever we want. A few exceptions in there, but man, that's a lot of freedom. Every month, they have a very good magazine, but I read the EAA magazine, Light Aircraft Association magazine from Great Britain. Great Britain had a very good tradition of aviation in the early years. But now, when I go to the back of their magazine, they have a full page with 3 coupons for a free landing, okay? Yeah. Think about that, a free landing. Like, woo, we got a free landing this month from our organization. So take advantage of what we have here today and make sure that you don't rain on some new person in aviation's experience. First impressions. In today's world, it is highly likely that the first impression someone is going to have of your group is not meeting you, but meeting your online presence. Okay? So if you have no digital footprint, they're going to think you just aren't real or don't exist. Okay? If they don't see anything about what your chapter is doing, it is a very negative first impression. And the only thing that could be worse is if it's 4 years old, okay? Because then they're like, oh yeah, these guys definitely have died. You know, they just don't know it yet. You could be the most active chapter, but if nothing makes it over the internet, someone's impression is that, oh yeah, that group doesn't do it. So make sure that you share electronically, online, what's going on by keeping your events up to date so that when they come to your website, they can go, instead of seeing the calendar of events from 2015, they see the one for this month. On that note, they need to be able to find you. So if you're on an airport, you need to provide enough instruction on where that meeting actually is. David has a good story about his mom went to join a chapter, and she went to the place and time that they said it was going to be at. No one's there. You know, tried calling, you know, the phone number, nothing. And, you know, then the next day she gets a message. Oh yeah, well we were actually down the, down the hangar row around the corner, you know, at the time you were there. So odds are, you know, it might be a little different because she's David's mom, but, you know, normally that would be mark that chapter off the list. You know, you'll never get a chance to tell me that. Because chapters have a long history, create a permanent file. Put your 501c3 determination letter in there. Put your federal ID number in there. Don't put your operating stuff in there to get clogged up. Put the stuff that your charter might go in there, a copy of it, your bylaws, so that you have this, and then make sure that you hand it down, okay, to the next group of officers.
We got to pry it out of his old dead hands.
Yes. It's not his property, it is the chapter's. Always think when you're talking about something or writing something, the who, what, when, where, why, and how. It's actually fairly easy to write a basic like release or story or whatever. But make sure you hit those things. Okay, why are you getting together? When's it gonna happen? Where's it gonna be? That kind of thing. You'd be surprised how many newsletters. In fact, this was one that Paul always had a thing for. I get a great newsletter from somebody, don't know where they meet, don't know where it's from, great article on something, you want to contact them, but there's no contact information. So make sure all of that stuff is up to date. On that contact thing, test yourself. Get on your phone sometime and try searching for your chapter on Google Maps. And if you don't exist, you have a problem. Because that's how everybody finds you nowadays. Food. Napoleon said an army marches on its stomach. Well, your army is a volunteer labor. They march on their stomach. Make sure that you think about having food. It's a great way to break down barriers. Makes it more enjoyable. We started having food at every one of our chapter meetings now. So if we meet on a Thursday night, it's nice because you can just show up and you know that there's going to be something there at 6:15 that you could eat. So if you have to come like me, I come straight from work and go there. It just eliminates one more barrier for me. So you cannot bore people into buying your product. You can only interest them in buying it. I remember talking to one chapter president, and it's like, we were talking about meeting things, and they're like, oh yeah, I guess our meetings really are boring.